If I'm not mistaken, today we are exactly 40 days away from Christmas Day. In recent days, Sister Stan Kennedy was quoted saying, "It broke her heart that up to 2,500 children may be homeless on Christmas Day." To me, this is a real indication of how bad the homeless crisis really is. At a time when children should be happy in their homes and celebrating Christmas, up to 2,500 children will be homeless. Launching their Christmas appeal last week, Focus Ireland said 2,400 children are at present homeless, which includes 1,200 families. This can only be described as an appalling indictment on us. I'm sure many of those in this chamber today are also familiar with the death of a homeless 31-year-old mother of two, Louise Casey, whose body was found under a stairwell in a derelict building in Limerick last week. Sadly, Catherine, unless action is taken and taken fast, more children and their families will end up without a roof over their head, and there will sadly be more Louise Caseys who lose their lives over this coming winter period. Of course, as well as the tragic death of Louise and all of those children and their families on the streets, people who aren't in those dire circumstances are just about surviving. The cost of rental properties and the severe lack of supply means that people are paying their landlords huge rents and have little or nothing to survive on at the end of the month. We in Fianna Fáil have advanced several proposals to the Department on a housing rental strategy. We firmly believe that positive action needs to be urgently taken that will alleviate the pressure on people and to ensure that they avoid the situation where they find themselves homeless. Most people are just 1 month away from a situation of homelessness. One measure we are advocating is for the introduction of rent certainty regulations that would tie rent to a rental index based on a 5-year historic rents in each area. As I have already stated, rent inflation in Dublin and other cities is absolutely hammering disposable income and pushing people into homelessness. The introduction of a rent certainty regulation would anchor the rent to the locality and would provide some certainty and stability to the market. In order to comprehensively tackle some of the challenges I've addressed, the supply of rental units in the market must be increased. We in Fianna Fáil that a range of incentives must be introduced, including but not limited to allowing property tax be calculated as a deductible expense for the purpose of income tax. Changing the tax code so that accidental landlords who bought property between 2000 and 2009 would be able to offset rental income for a period of 3 years. Directing the Strategic Investment Fund to provide low-cost finance to people who are going on to build purpose-built rental accommodation. And finally, to encourage landlords to enter into long-term leases with local authorities and housing associations. Census 2016 indicate that there are 260,000 vacant homes across the market, accounting for 15% of the total supply. The vacancy recorded in urban areas such as Dublin and Galway is recorded at 10%. We need to incentivise landlords to keep the stock on the market, and we need to ensure that the threat of homelessness is alleviated for people living in rental accommodation. I ask you to invite the Minister into the House to address this matter urgently.
Thank you.